Kathy, is my collar right now? Happy Father's Day. Okay, I asked Reverend Deborah if she thought I was qualified to deliver the Father's Day message. She responded, "Well, Ed, you are a father of 2 with 5 grandchildren, and a stepfather of 4 with 10 more grandchildren, and you are a great-grandfather of 2. And remember, not only that, but you are the offspring of your father." So, yep, she said, "Ed, you are definitely qualified." I am called Dad, Daddy, Pops. I'm called the old man, Stepdaddy Eddie, Step-granddaddy Eddie, Grandpa, Pop Eddie, and also Paw Meadow. I don't know where that last one came from. I really don't, okay? But kids will call you whatever they're going to call you, and you just keep loving them. See, now, back in February of 1970, actually it was February 26th to be exact, I became a father. Oh my, was I excited. This was back when fathers weren't allowed in the delivery room. We had to sit anxiously and patiently silent with sweat dripping off our brow in the maternity waiting room, waiting for the doors to open. And then, in the flash of a second, the doors opened, the heavens exploded with grandeur, and it was majestically announced, "Mr. Cosper, you are the proud father of a gorgeously handsome son. In fact, he looks just like you." Which must mean he's tall, dark, and handsome with curly hair and glasses and a deep voice. What more could I ask for? His name would be Edward, and while I was excited and thrilled, I was afraid, nervously wondering what this new role of being a father meant for me. Was I ready? Do I possess the skills and talents to raise my child? Oh, wow. Just think, my genes created this beautiful child, and now I don't know what to do. Anybody felt that way? Well, it didn't take long for reality to set in. He was constantly hungry, and his diaper needed changing. Cloth diapers back then, and oh my goodness, that diaper pail that some of us remember. And I was taught to place the diaper pins between my lips as I unfolded a new white cloth diaper. I applied the baby powder, and I giggled. And he giggled back and cooed back at me. I think he likes the funny face I'm making with those diaper pins hanging out of my mouth. He's enjoying himself so much that he loses control of his bladder, and I get a face full of that liquid stuff. I think, I gathered myself. So I get out another diaper and as quickly as possible before he falls off the changing table, and I begin again. I know that all these stories are different, and all of our stories are different, except for getting that face shower. I know a bunch of you have gotten that. But our memories, our stories are unique and different. So, of course, I wanted to be a good father. You know, the father of my dreams. Someone like Robert Young, who played the father on TV show Father Knows Best back in the mid-1950s. Or Desi Arnaz playing Ricky Ricardo on the I Love Lucy show. Or Ozzie Nelson on the Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet show. Or My Three Sons, or the Brady Bunch. I think I may be losing some of y'all, may not be as old as me. So anyway, okay, so Leave It to Beaver, Little House on the Prairie, the Brady Bunch, the Cosby Show, the Jeffersons, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Are you still lost? What about Frasier and Happy Days and Seinfeld? Well, all of these TV shows helped to form the intricate details to describe my dream father. Perhaps TV programming created your perfect dream father image as a youth, and maybe some of those dreams stuck with you. They sure did stick with me. Who was your dream dad? Was it a teacher, a minister, a scout leader, your best friend's dad, or your athletic coach, or was it your father? My dream father stood tall with great posture, clean shaven, perfect speech, and clear, distinct messages. Well dressed, and he was involved in family life, and he liked to play, and yeah, he liked to laugh a lot. He's the best swing pusher ever. He could push you ever so gently while gradually picking up intensity, and he would push and swing you a little harder, a little higher. A little harder, a little higher, a little harder, a little higher until you got to the top and you felt like you were going to go all the way over and you yelled, "Stop!" And then you slowly drifted back down to safety. Oh, and by the way, how long did it take you to learn who Santa was? I was 15 and still pretending to believe in Santa. I tell you, whilst I was looking down the stairs watching him sweat over the assembly instructions for my new toy. Yeah, I gotta tell you, Santa, oh well, he's a black man. But at any rate, my dream father was a great provider and sets an example of good values and ethics. He's a wonderful teacher and always gives you encouragement. He shows you how to treat your mom and sisters and brothers and your neighbors too. In fact, my dream dad teaches everyone how to love, how to be kind, and how to treat others with respect. He helps you do your homework. Often, he tells you how proud he is of you. And of course, he likes pets of all kinds. He comforts you and makes you unafraid of the outdoors, unafraid to be on a stage dancing and singing, and wouldn't think about missing one of your performances. It's a big job being a dream dad. Sweets, popcorn, and soda pops are all part of being a dream dad during those scary moments with the scary movies. He always has some coins when the ice cream truck comes up the street with that same old kiddie music that magically attracts all the kids in the neighborhood. His favorite from the truck is Orange Push-Up. It's my favorite too. My dad was brave. My dream dad, he would take me roller skating and out to ride my bike all on the same day. Oh, how I can see him running beside me, asking me to pedal harder, pedal faster, harder and faster, pedal harder and faster. And then he would trust me and just let go. Thinking back, I didn't even know he had let go. But then in my excitement as I was screaming, "I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm riding a bike," I lost my balance and I fell. But my super dream daddy is there to pick me up and kiss my boo-boos. And then off I go again. You know, we have so many expectations for our dream dads. Little League baseball, swim lessons, how to fly a kite, hiking, fishing, learning to drive a car, handing over the keys. And that's a big step, ain't it? And then becoming a grandfather, knowingly trying to do better the second time around, holding and hugging more, knowing when to keep silent. I'm working on that one. and realizing that saying those magical words, I love you, it's not so wimpy after all. I also know that in reality, most of our dads didn't score 100% on the Dream Dad test. Perhaps we had set the scale a little bit too high. Maybe we set it so high that it brought tears to our eyes when Daddy didn't measure up. I know how angry I would become if one box wasn't checked. I would say, I'm gonna be different when I grow up. I'll show you. My kids are gonna love me. Na 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 na. My dad, like many dads, was a good provider. We had a roof over our heads and full bellies. We were led to believe we were middle class. We were better than some, but not as good as others. My sisters and I went to Sunday school and church with my mother, but see, my dad worked at the corner grocery on Sundays. But we always ate Sunday dinner together. We sat in our places with Mom and Dad at the ends of the table. My grandmother said grace, and we began eating and talking. But my father had very little to say. He was always at a loss for words. He and I rarely talked and have very little in common. It was almost as if my father didn't exist. I was reading recently Will Smith's book, Memoirs. You know, the actor that's serving a 10-year expulsion from his career for the slap. I remembered stuff after reading just the first paragraph, where Will Smith confesses feeling like a coward because he couldn't protect his mother or himself from verbal and physical abuse his father had delivered. Imagine growing up with such pain and feelings of worthlessness. I get it, Will. I tremble too when thinking about those internal scars, and I'm not certain if I wouldn't have flipped too under those same circumstances. You see, I feel like a coward too. And for the same reasons. I would have loved to have gotten my education and fathering from my father, but now wait a minute, Ed, stop and think, Ed, come on now. How did your father learn to be a father? See, my father never knew his father, and he was raised with no fathering examples of what to say, how to say, or when to say. I am pretty sure his grandfather, my great-grandfather, was a freed slave who may not have known his father, and so on, and so on, and so on. You know, we are celebrating Juneteenth today, the day that the last slaves in Texas were finally freed 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. Oh my, what a wonderful day. Hallelujah. But now, just for a moment, I'd like you to stop and think what it was like when the gates flew open if you were told you were finally free. I think the first thing I would say is, what am I to do now? The only father figure I had was Massa. I never learned how to be a father. I never knew my father. Where am I to go, and how am I to live now? You know, once I realized this, I came to a point to where I finally knew I needed to make peace with my dad. I needed to demonstrate understanding because, as the author Lynn Cox says, even the best dads fall short sometimes. Does that resonate with any of you or your dads? I know I'm bouncing around a lot, but so much to talk about. And Reverend Deborah said, you can judge a good sermon by how many waste cans you filled up in writing it. So, well, as of this morning, I'm at 6 cans and counting. So, Reverend Deborah, hopefully I'm doing a good job. But I do not want to forget a main purpose for my wanting to deliver this Sunday's message. I want to draw your attention to all those fathers that are not celebrating today, to all their children who, for various reasons, don't find joy in Father's Day. They won't be picking out aftershave cologne or painstakingly trying to find the right size tie, or those who won't be serving floppy pancakes to a dad in bed by a child that's covered in flour. Perhaps their dad is incarcerated. You know, almost 2 million moms and dads in jails and prisons across America. Think of the impact of only seeing your dad in chains behind bars with armed guards keeping watch over him. In our haste to delve out punishment to these lawbreakers, let's try not to punish the children too. Maybe, just maybe with a note or no note at all, your father just abandoned the family. And just maybe you're hurting because he started a new family and you feel left behind, out of sight and forgotten. Know that you are remembered here. In the U.S., 23% of children under the age of 18 live in a single-parent home, most with mothers, and which is 3 times more than the highest level anywhere else in the world. That's according to the U.S. Census Bureau as of March of this year. There are over 14,000 foster children right here in Georgia. Most were removed from their homes due to abuse, neglect, or abandonment, according to DFACS. There are surviving children of fathers who gave the supreme sacrifice while in service to America, and also those children who are grieving the loss of a father by other means like gun violence or police brutality. We honor you. We honor these children with our loving kindness. And for all the children who have found refuge in gangs or who act out in schools or who are critically damaged from holding in all that hurt, pain, and anger, with our hearts wide open, we offer you our compassionate love and caring intentions. And let us not forget, please let us not forget, especially during this Pride Month, that many of our LGBTQ brothers and sisters have pains and scars and secrets from before and after coming out. So many secrets and so much pain. You are welcome here. I know most of you are filled with joy and happiness this Father's Day. Some of us fathers have regrets and wish we could get another chance, another go-around, or we could check out a few more boxes on that Dream Father list. But I have one little piece of advice. If fathers could just learn to listen more without trying to fix anything. Ed, I think you're preaching to yourself. Just maybe those relationships could be better. And children, learn to trust and know there is more to your dad's story. Ask him. Your father wants the best for you. Have a peaceful Father's Day. Daddy, I hope you're proud of me. Now, as you're able, please rise and join us in singing hymn 1007, the Till Hymnal, although I believe we're projecting the lyrics up on the screen. And let's really sing it out. Let's really give it to it. I want Reverend Deborah to hear it all the way up there, okay? All right.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul.
Thank you for joining us this Sunday. Thank you, Kathy, for joining us this Sunday. And thank you to our hymn singers, our leaders in song. And a big thank you to Michael Myers and Claude. I think you're supposed to be up here instead of up there. Author Lynn she says, may we be grateful for the nurturing we have received in our lives from sources both hidden and obvious. May we heal from the losses highlighted by Father's Day. May we nurture each other in generations to come. May the friendship and love we have in our lives today ease the pain and amplify the positive memories of our past. May this be a day of reconciliation and peace.